Today we are going to be talking how to edit product videos or just make some cool stuff in Premiere Pro.
We're basically going to be creating a kind of collage. So to do this, we need to isolate the subject. And one of the easiest classic ways of isolating subjects is using chroma key, right? A little bit of green screening. So this is kind of the raw stuff that we're working with. We're looking at it kind of flat on, and we're tilting it back and forth. I don't run into the edge of the frame. I count this as a good take. I've picked the start and end. I'm using my start and end clippers here. And then I just grab video only, and I drag that onto the make new. It's important to remember that this is still 60 frames per second, and it's still quite large. It's still 4K in its size. You're going to right click. We're going to come on down to the sequence settings, and we can modify it in here. Maybe we take it down to, say, the 30 frames per second. What I want to do is really hone in on what the kind of loop is. And I think just tilting from one side to the other is probably fine. You can see that I'm kind of not really clear where the rotational axis is of this thing. So what I want to do is get that under control. And we can do that by just keyframing the position of this thing. I'm going to call up our guides. You can just mouse over the rulers, drag a fresh one out. If you've already got some out here and you want to get rid of them, drag them away. I am interested in trying to keep the little button at the top of the hat nice and centered. So I'm going to just kind of bump this beanie here to be kind of in the middle center of that kind of object, right? And then we click the position up here, which is going to set a keyframe. And what we want to do is to try to get this roughly around the middle, right? And now we're putting one at the start and we're putting one at the end. So we're kind of locking down those points. Now we're going to kind of scrub through, and I want to look for points of what I would call maximum deviation. Oh, but here's a place where it's kind of moved away the most, and we'll set one there. We got this thing where we want it. Let's remove the rest of this green. These days, we use a little thing called the Ultra key, which is the key's color. So I've got my eyedropper. I'm going to click out here. I want to click close to the hat, so I kind of want a middle value. There's an amount of stuff that still needs to be cleaned up. Pretty good so far. We've got our setting here, and the setting is currently at default. What if I just say, hey, give me a relax attempt. Give me an aggressive attempt. Oh, it looks like aggressive is doing pretty well. And it's hard to tell, is that see-through or not, right? What's going on? So if we come into output and we say, show me the alpha channel, this is going to tell you what tis and tisn't being chopped out. And you see this zone over here, right? That's definitely not hat. So in this case, what we're doing is we're saying, let's remove the shadowed elements from here. And we're just like chipping away. Matte generation is creating the black and white values. What's here, what's not here. The matte cleanup, we're going to refine that a little bit. The choke is like, you see that line that's kind of moving forward and backward there? There is our contrast, and contrast is doing a pretty good job of bringing some of the levels back up. And then our midpoint, we can shift that midpoint, and hey, the hat is back. We probably want to retime it in some way. So if we want to alter the speed, those keyframes are relative to the timing of this clip, right? If I start messing around with the timing of it, those keyframes no longer have relevance. You can take your clip, you can cram it into a nest. You could take your element here, so EX hat centered, and then drag it onto the new sequence. The result is going to be similar. So this is now EX hat retimed. You can jump into the retiming. We would scrub around. We're going to find a point at which we are happy with the speed. We're going to find another point sort of over here where we're kind of happy with the speed, set something in there. And then we are going to be messing with this line, for example, like that. We can right click on this and we can show clip keyframes, time remapping speed. And now this interface is being displayed down here. We're speeding up that middle part. You see these the gates, I can make them larger. I can make the keyframes. So now we're kind of easing from one to the other. And then I am going to duplicate this. So I'm going to option, drag it over like this. And I'm going to right click on this one, speed and duration, and we are going to reverse the speed. So we've got our retimed, plop that into a new thing. I'm going to grab this layer and drag it up again, producing new video tracks every time. I'm going to grab this, hold down option, drag below, and I've created a second one. Now I'm going to come into its motion, I'm going to scale it up a little bit like this. We are going to bring out here a Gauss in the house blur, and we're going to maybe give it 10, 15. Then I'm going to grab a brightness and contrast. There we go. So it's darker, it's further back, it's receding into the shadows, and then we do it again. So duplicate. Oh, hello. You got the blurriness already going on here. And then we'll keep doing the same thing. So we're just going to take these and we're going to give them a little bump in time. I'm holding down Command and tapping on my keyboard to bump them by a few frames. That's what we get. We get this lovely, lovely looping situation.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much, everyone. Take it easy.